But the music that came out of the park really has expanded into the rest of the community, and that's why you see so many open mics and music venues with live music in Punta Gorda, more than you see other places. But Johnny and I wrote a song called Ode to Punta Gorda, and we got to sing this for the city council, and this was back in the late 1980s, just before John died, and so this is an ode to Punta Gorda. Now, the funny thing is that I'm not sure that all of the city council members understood that we were poking fun at them. So, in Punta Gorda, fishing ain't quite the same as it used to be. Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda, engines running, not sailing to the sea. In Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda, the mullets still jump, the reds still school, but some places netting them's again the rules. Punta Gorda, in Punta Gorda, in Punta Gorda, Florida, yeah. With the sand and the sun and our fishing so fine, it's where we want to stay until we're old, gray, and blind. Come on, join in singing, it's so great to be, yeah, in Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda. The demographics aren't what they used to be. In Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda, folks are living. The fish and the skeeters did breed. Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda, we come from all over, now that's a fact. But some of the new ones want to tell us how to act. In Punta Gorda, in Punta Gorda, in Punta Gorda, Florida, yeah. With the sand and the sun and our people so fine, it's where we want to stay until we're old, gray, and blind. Come on, join in singing, it's so great to be, yeah, in Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda. 1880s we became municipality. Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda. Courthouse was built in the 1920s. Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda. The town is still the county seat, but Murdoch is where the commissioners meet. Not Punta Gorda, not Punta Gorda, not Punta Gorda, Florida. Oh no, With the sand and the sun and our politics sublime, it's where we want to stay until we're old, gray, and blind. Come on, join in singing, it's so great to be, yeah, in Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda. Hotels aren't as fancy as they used to be. Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda. Brick streets and old buildings are becoming a scarcity. Punta Gorda, ooh, Punta Gorda. The train ain't tied to the dock no more. The old ice house has been a praise the Lord store. In Punta Gorda, it's a pub now. In Punta Gorda, in Punta Gorda, Florida, yeah. With the sand and the sun and our Walmart so fine, 24 hours, where you want to stay until you're old, gray, and blind. Come on, join in singing, it's so great to be, yeah, in Punta Gorda, ooh, in Punta Gorda, Punta Gorda, Florida. So we had a lot of fun doing that, and we've played that at block parties and such, and so, and ultimately the music that got started, and I wrote enough songs. That one was John and I wrote, and we've got a number of those. He's dead now, and so he doesn't care if I use them. But and his sister gave me his guitar and that kind of thing. But but I've got a band now. Actually, I have very, very good musicians that help make my music into something that people really like to hear. And so we've got the Hibiscus Band, and we play the block parties, and we play the Hibiscus Festival, which is another fun event that we, I should have included that in the other things that we've done. The Hibiscus Festival is really a great tradition and a great gathering of folks. And it's our local music festival is what it is. And so I run the stage and coordinate the musicians and that kind of thing. And so we have really a 3-day music event that happens every year. We missed it last year because of the COVID, but we're planning to do it this year. We've already started on our meetings and such as that. And Harry Goulding was the person who hybridized so many hibiscus, and he was here, and they called him King Harry because he was a world leader in hybridization of hibiscus. And as a matter of fact, when his daughter got married, there was thousands of hibiscus were floated on the harbor in celebration of that marriage. And on a sad note, she passed last night. Anne Goulding Bobo passed. And so we lose. I love that you're having this capturing of the stories a little bit, because we just lost a treasure trove. I mean, we lost a library of information about our history with the passing of each one of these old-timers that saw the changes. I mean, I've seen the changes just in my short life. I'm 66, but when we came to Punta Gorda, at least the atlases and such tell me that there were 12,000 people in Charlotte County in 1960. 12,000. And when I graduated high school in 1972, there were 30,000. And now we have 180,000 in Charlotte County. And just think about the infrastructure and the housing and the people and how that had to change the face of a community. And so I got to watch it from what it was. The history of Punta Gorda is it was a grand place in the 1890s, 1900 into the 20s. Depression came along and it went down. That had the air base come, and so a lot of people learned about it from the airfield, from training out there. But Punta Gorda really was, and Charlotte County was like 5,000 people to 12,000 people in a 50-year period, and then in the next 50 years we added 100 and something, thousand people. And so I watched it change from the old ways, and was part of that. I mean, the Farr Law Firm represented Punta Gorda Isles. Punta Gorda Isles brought all kinds of people in, part of the same era as the Port Charlotte with the General Development Corporation. So contemporaneously, these developers made economic opportunity for people who were here, but they also changed the place. And so the place that used to be so abundant for hunting and fishing is not so much anymore. And so there's some of the changes that we lament. I've got a song called My Florida that laments that. But Punta Gorda was a cosmopolitan place in a way that it's come back now because so many people have retired here, but it used to be connected to the world in a different way. In the 1890s, Well, 1887, the railhead hit Punta Gorda and became the southern terminus. For about 20 years, it was the southern terminus of the railroad. And there was a steamship line that had a run from Havana to New Orleans that stopped in Punta Gorda. And so we were part of the route that was taken. And so the grand hotels that got developed that tended to and provided for luxury hunting, fishing, travelers, that kind of thing, and also this end of the line kind of thing. So it had a wildness at the same time it was catering to tourism, to the wealthy. So this is one that I wrote. It's called the Punta Gorda Liquor Parade. Now before I get to this, I wanted to go back to Ode to Punta Gorda. Some of the first lines in that was trying to explain to people who aren't from here that we say Punta Gorda, not Punta Gorda. I mean, if you say Punta Gorda, and if you say that name of the road that's just south of here that looks like Aquiesta, well, that's pronounced Aquiesta around here. And the man who named it, Vasco Peoples, pronounced it Aquiesta. And so everybody who's in the debate about how to properly say some of these place names, if you say Aquiesta and Punta Gorda, that's correct around here. If you say Aquiesta and Punta Gorda, then everybody knows you speak a little Spanish, but you're not from here. So Punta Gorda sounds like, is sort of how that other one. But this is a story of old Punta Gorda back in the 1890s, and it's also a story about how Punta Gorda is a little bit different than other places because the black and white communities interacted in different ways than they did in other places, in that we had some entrepreneur black folks who were instrumental and integral to the whole development. And George Brown, who had Cleveland Rail, sold the property to the county for the county courthouse, to the original county courthouse to be built upon. And he was an equal opportunity employer. He employed whites as well as blacks. So there was this little guy called Henry Little that came in the 1890s, and nobody really knew where he came from. Scott Shively has written about him. He's done some really good research on it. And really the answer is we don't really know much about him before he got here. We believe that he was born in Virginia, but major portions of his life are unknown. He claimed to have been in the Boer Wars as an aide-de-camp to one of the British officers, and no way to check up on it, but this was his story. But he showed up with a menagerie and he trained animals, and he had the sandhill crane that he would send to town, and that was the signal that he had a moonshine batch available. He probably just brokered it off of ships and distributed it rather than made it. And so I've used a little bit of poetic license in order to give color to the story and invite you in. The detail might not be quite accurate, but it's based on a true story. Okay, so. Was an animal trainer, circus conductor, spectacle creator. He made blind tiger whiskey out on the sand flats where the pines and palmettos meet. Bangor, Charlotte Harbor, Peace River, Punta Gorda. '90s darky came to town, to the end of the railroad line, to the port, Punta Gorda, where there was a steamship line. From Havana to New Orleans, stopped in Punta Gorda along the way. Seemed like a good place to stop for a menagerie to stay. Henry Little was an animal trainer, circus conductor, spectacle creator. He made blind tiger whiskey out on the sand flats where the pines and palmettos meet. Mangrove, Charlotte Harbor, Peace River, Punta Gorda. Had a dog, a little white one, taught to be a real watchdog. Climb up on the roof, see all the people bark like hell when Marshal Bowman come round. Had a bird, a sandhill crane, taught to march like in the parade. Sent up to town, that was the signal, the batch was ready. Come on all the people, it's a Punta Gorda liquor parade. Come on everybody. That bird would march, that bird would prance, that bird would act sort of like in a courting dance. You see, Henry Little was an animal trainer, circus conductor, spectacle creator. He made blind tiger whiskey out on the sand flats where the pines and palmettos meet. Mangrove, Charlotte Harbor, Peace River, Punta Gorda. It's a Punta Gorda liquor parade. Yeah, Punta Gorda is a pretty neat place, Scott. It's always had this welcoming, open arms kind of feel to it. The brick streets that when you look at them from an angle and slanted lights, you can see the fingerprints on the bricks from where they were handmade. And so we've over the years, we do hands-on historic preservation around here. The city was trying to get rid of the brick streets at one point, and there was an uproar from the citizens that said, no, we like our brick streets. Well, it costs too much. Well, we'll help. It's a way to have hands-on historic preservation in Punta Gorda, and I'm proud of that, and it adds an ambiance to this place that is tangible.